Welcome to this self-massage practice for your ovulatory phase. This is part of our self-love series, and in the peak energy phase of the cycle, this pivotal point where we are at the top of the arc and getting ready to shift into a different energetic space in the second half of the cycle, we want to be in our fullest expression of self-love. So this practice is one where we get to show ourselves affection. We get to create that physical touch from the outside in so that we can feel comforted and nourished by our own physical touch. So it is a physical expression of our deepest self-love. So begin finding your comfortable seat. I have a blanket under the sitting bones. You can be resting on a cushion, somewhere where you can move your whole body. So it helps to be on the floor if that's comfortable for you. You can even do this in your bed and be in a sort of comfy space. Wherever you need to be, just find your comfortable position first. And then let your spine lift up tall. Bring your hands to your heart. And know that this need not look a certain way. There's a natural, sort of unique way that you can hold your heart. And so find that here, maybe closing the eyes, and just create some awareness of your heart space, the sensation in the front and back of your chest. As you do this, breathe deeply in and out through the nose. So feel that feedback from your hands as your lungs inflate and release. And then begin to just gently massage your heart space. So adding some very gentle pressure here, and circling in one direction, and then the other. Maybe you feel a bit of heat. Just creating some aliveness there, this place of vitality. And we will infuse today's practice with gratitude. So whether you do it aloud or you're whispering in your mind, just offering that gesture of thanks to your body, this one home that you have that stays with you. So I thank you. Just offering that as we move through this self-massage. From here, begin to rub your hands together. Create a bit of heat, a bit of warmth. So let this be quick, until you feel that heat in your hands, and then place the hands over your eyes. So let this be a threshold where you are turning your attention inward. So can you be both the one who offers this touch and the one who receives? And then with your hands, begin to find your hairline and just offer a gentle massage. And so there is no right or wrong way to do this. Just simply work from the top of your hairline all the way around, creating little circles, adjusting the pressure as needed. Maybe it's a bit more intense, maybe it's a bit softer in different places. Find your temples, create some circulation there. You might use fingers or thumbs. Again, letting the eyes close if you can. And just really working this upper center in the body. Then you might take your hands to your head, offer a bit of scalp massage, starting at the crown and then just kind of working your way down. Come behind the ears, Offer some pressure there. And then find the base of your skull. So there's two protrusions, two bones at the occipital ridge. Offer some almost acupressure there. So some kind of intense pressure to facilitate that release. So you'll find the circulation moves through. Maybe you find a point that's a bit tender. Can you explore that point? And then moving to your face, find the space between your eyebrows. Maybe you take your thumbs, kind of offer some pressure there on the pineal gland, your third eye center. Coming along the eyebrows now, moving toward the temples. And then come under the eyes, sort of to your sinuses. And just offer some pressure. You might even smooth the skin here. And you'll start to really find your own rhythm and what feels good. Whether it's quick, small circles or more sweeping motions. And then can you move down the line of your jaw? You might find some tender points here. Just be gentle where you need to. You might take your thumb now under your jawline. Massage your chin. A bit of pressure there in the soft spot of your chin. And then using all of your fingers, just creating some sensation in the neck. So moving the fingers down the neck. And you'll feel heat generated here. So can you sort of blur the line between inner and outer experience here? So you are both offering the outer experience and on the receiving end. Can you soften the outer edges of the neck, sort of create that manual traction? And then bring your hand to one side, right at the collarbone, press in and energetically drag down as you move your ear to opposite shoulder, and then lift your chin skyward. Oh, you should feel a bit of stretch and release across the front of the neck here. So again, this can clear the throat center. You might find a bit more ease in speaking your mind, in articulating what you're thinking, switching sides when you're ready, pressing onto the collarbone, gently dragging down. So the ovulatory phase, our communication centers naturally awakens with a bit of throat work, a bit of opening here. It might be a great opportunity for a conversation you've been waiting to have, or just for connecting with someone. And then cross the hands, find opposite shoulders, and just start to offer some pressure to the outer shoulders here, the upper arm bones here. So now just creating that grounding touch, so that kind of pressure that lets you know where your physical body is in space. So it's sort of kneading the muscles here. And then with your right hand, reach for your left shoulder blade. Offer some pressure, some release there. And again, anytime you find that sort of like a trigger point where you feel that really intense sensation, rather than kind of running away from that point, can you soften into it and notice if you can clear any knots, any blockages that you feel, just by working them through, physically letting them dissolve, letting them release, switch sides. So really being completely present to the sensations that you are creating. Can you be aware both of what the skin feels like as your fingers touch, or what the fabric feels like And then can you also be aware of the sensation that you are receiving? So this balance between offering energy out and then receiving energy in. And we'll move down the arms here, just kind of sweeping. It might sound a bit out there, but you sort of just clear and shed any energy that might be feeling a bit heavy or stuck. As you do so, then coming back to that gratitude, self-love, and find one wrist, use the opposite fingers and thumb to really work into the forearms, especially if you're someone who types a lot. This can feel very soothing to kind of relax the forearm muscles. And as you work into that hand, the fingers, can you offer that gratitude here? Thank you, hands. Thank you for the work that you do, for the love that you give, for all the effort. So how often do you let your hands receive? And switching sides now to the other wrist, using that thumb and fingers to work into the forearm. And again here, kind of just exploring, really seeking out those knots or those points that feel a bit tight, feel a bit tense. And moving to the hand. Working the top and the bottom, the palm. And just letting your fingers kind of interlace, press them out and in, circle the wrists. And so then we'll come back to the heart center, just connecting there for a moment with the hands on the heart. And then we'll start to kind of offer to the rib cage some love here. Kind of feel between the bones of the ribs, that musculature that can get very tight, but we're not even really aware of it. So can you work into that supporting structure in the rib cage, front and back. Find the rivers of your spine, so the erector spinae muscles that keep you upright, keep you moving around in the world. And then coming to the belly here, not anything too intense, just allowing kind of some sweeping circles. If it feels good, you can add a bit more pressure, maybe using the fingers to get into the digestive organs here. And then take your fingers to your navel center, follow them all the way around to your back, and apply some gentle pressure there. Almost like a release valve as you maybe use your thumbs to press into the points on either side of the spine. And then work your way back around to the navel. And then coming to the hips now. So depending on the position that you're in, you might feel your hip flexors are a bit activated. So in any way you can, just allowing them to relax, and bring the heels of your hands now into your hip creases and just offer some gentle pressure there. So really kneading the upper thighs, the heels of the hands. Coming into the outer glutes. So find your hip points and then just go in kind of toward the sacrum a bit from there. Find that meaty part of the glutes. And just give yourself a bit of massage there, either with the thumbs or the fingers. There's so many points in the body that provide sort of instant sensation, instant relief. And then move down a little bit into the piriformis. Come to come inward, so toward the sciatic space, into the sacroiliac joint, and offer some pressure there. So that point where your hip bones connect to the base plate of your spine can be a very sensitive area. For me, a lot of sensation arising there, particularly after the practices of the cycle that has passed, maybe some strength and activation remaining there. So just kind of allowing that to let go. And then let your legs come out in front of you. Keep a generous bend in the knees here. And just kind of pedal out your feet, shake out your knees. And then we'll start with the legs. So you can offer this sort of gentle tapping on the tops of the thighs. So when I lived in Japan and would prepare to teach yoga classes, most of the practitioners, as they arrived, they would sit in their space and offer this self-massage. They would sort of chop and knead and pound into the legs as a means to increase their circulation and kind of awaken a sleepy body. So especially if you are at a desk for much of your day, or if you're ever sort of in a disconnected place from your body, just offering this bit of awakening through gentle massage as you need. Maybe come to the outsides of the legs here and just switch, alternating. And then letting that go, move this into more of a sweeping motion. So circling toward the hips here, rotating on the outer legs. Then coming to the inner thighs, lift the legs here, find the backs of the legs, offer some gentle massage there. And of course, I'm doing this with my leggings and a top, but if you can have skin to skin, maybe you have a bit of oil between your hands and your skin, so soothing, can be so grounding for your energetic body. Really allows your circulation to improve, brings awareness to the surface. And then come to your knees. And the knees do so much work for us. So this is an opportunity to say, thank you, knees. It might sound or feel silly, but there's a vibration that comes with that gratitude when you offer it aloud or internally. So just giving your knees some love here, kind of deeply kneading with the fingers and thumbs. And then moving to the shins. So using the heels of the hands now to really lengthen the shins. And then finding the thumbs to create a bit more pressure. And giving the calves some love here. Really like you were kneading dough, just seeking out the lumps or the bumps and working through them. And then take your thumb down the very outermost edge of your shin and calf. You feel some sensation there. You might feel like you're actually moving the fascia around. And then you can bend your knees once again. We'll come to the ankles. And there's so many pressure points in the feet, so just explore that wherever you feel a bit of release or even a bit of tenderness. So if you take kind of that point between the Achilles tendon and the ankle, lots of pressure points there. And lots of pressure points that are connected to our reproductive organs. So if you kind of find those points, can you feel some heat or some circulation that improves, that becomes really perceptible in the pelvis and the low belly? And then move to the sole of your foot. Offer that sweeping motion, a bit of pressure there. Find your toes, spread them out. And then switching sides, coming to the ankle once again. Offering that gentle but very sort of intentional touch. So you want your body to know what's going on, what's happening. Coming onto the sole of your foot now, working through the arch, giving the heel a bit of love, and then finding the toes, warming them up, spreading them out. This is a great practice to enjoy anytime you just have a few moments and you want to drop into the present moment. So there's nothing like creating sensation in the body to remind you of where you are. And just sort of a bit of housekeeping for this body home that we have. And then you can come back to your seated position and start to lift the spine up tall once again. Shimmy and shake. Shake out your hands. So really kind of clearing anything energetically that you might have picked up and absorbed into the hands. Can you sort of release it now? Just kind of sweeping the hands. And then once again, let your hands arrive at your heart. That gentle pressure here. Bow your gaze inward. Just notice how you feel. Does your body feel more alive? Our mantra for this phase is I am loving, where love becomes a verb, it becomes an action, something that we can really express. And so as you sit in this space, as you receive that expression of self-love, that gentle touch from your own hands, can you embody that mantra, I am loving? And so the ovulatory phase brings with it a bit of arousal, both mental and physical, which can be exciting, can be very enlivening, but requires a bit of grounding. And so that's part of this practice today, is to bring some energetic grounding to the body. And so I hope that you are experiencing that now, where you feel awake and alert, but very calm. Those two things can be present simultaneously, or you have clarity in the mind, clarity in the body. If your eyes are closed, gently blink them open. You can rest your hands by your sides. I want to thank you for joining me for this quick practice, but one that you can use anytime. You can move through the whole body or just parts of the body anytime you need to create that connection between kind of your innermost self and your physical body. So let your presence inhabit this beautiful body that is carrying you through the world. So thank you again. Thank you for being a part of this collective of women who move by the moon.